guys. Chelsea have just beaten Malmo by 4-0, well, by 4 goals to nil, and it was a pretty convincing win for Chelsea. It wasn't, it was straightforward, but it wasn't the most um, enjoyable evening for Chelsea fans, I'd imagine, because the 4-0 win did come with two injuries to two significant players for Chelsea. In Romelu Lukaku, goes without saying, record signing for, I can't remember how much it was. It was about 97 million or something. Um, he's gone on a bit of a goal drought. He hasn't been on his best form since he came to Chelsea. He scored 3 times, I think. He scored against Arsenal, Villa, and who else did he score against? I think it was Zenit St. Petersburg. Um, but yeah, obviously that's going to be a big miss for Chelsea. And also Timo Werner has got injured towards the end of the first half as well. Both looked like they could be out for a few weeks. They didn't look like knocks, especially Lukaku's. Lukaku's could be, he could just be absolutely fine by tomorrow, or he could be out for 6 months. It's a tough one to tell. Whereas with Timo Werner, it just looked like he pulled up with a muscle injury, so he'll probably be out for a few weeks, I'd imagine. And people like to say like to meme Timo Werner as being this terrible player who can't score goals. I mean, his goal record's not been great since he came to England. What is it, 15 months ago now? But he's still a very good player for Chelsea. He causes defences problems, even if his finishing hasn't been as clinical as Chelsea would have liked it to be, and as he would have liked it to be. But he's shown he can score goals back like with Leipzig. I mean, the German league's no farmers' league, is it? But yeah, anyway, into the game. Chelsea completely dominated for the majority of the game. The first goal came just under 10 minutes. Thiago Silva whipped a brilliant ball into his centre-back partner, Andreas Christensen, and it was a decent finish. It came off his shin a little bit, but he got a fair amount of power on it, and the keeper didn't stand much chance. And that's his first ever goal for Chelsea in something like 130 appearances for them, and he's been in the squad probably. It's probably longer than you'd think. It's probably going to be 5 or 6 years now. Christensen. Obviously, he's not been a starter with players like David Luiz, Gary Cahill, who else? Azpilicueta, Rudiger, Thiago Silva, Kurt Zouma, John Terry even. But yeah, he's still been a good servant for the club, and he probably, I'd imagine, would continue to be. I mean, he's still fairly young for a centre-back. He's probably mid-20s, I'd imagine. But yeah, it was a well-taken goal. And then Lukaku went on. For him, for someone who isn't a great dribbler of the ball, because obviously of his size, and like a lot of big players just don't have the like nimbleness with their feet, and Lukaku is one of them. But he did quite well to get past a couple of defenders. One of them brought him down, and his ankles or his legs seemed to get trapped between the Malmo defender's leg and the floor. It was nothing malicious. It was probably a yellow card because it was a last man foul, and Lukaku was looking to get a shot off. But yeah, Lukaku had to go off, and Jorginho tucked away the penalty as he usually does. Um, that made it 2-0 at half time. And in the second half, it was just more of the same. Callum Hudson-Odoi came on for Timo Werner, and he provided a really nice assist for Kai Havertz, although the finish was superb. Hudson-Odoi played it through to Havertz, and it was quite a tight angle, and he managed to clip it over the keeper, and it went in off the post. Um, yeah, that made it 3-0. And the final goal, another penalty from this time Antonio Rudiger found himself in the box looking to get a shot off, and the defender just went through the back of him. And again, another penalty, and Jorginho did exactly the same thing pretty much. I think there was more of a jump on the second one. And yeah, that made it 4-0, and Chelsea just kept possession from that point on. They did have some outstanding players though today, to be fair. Chelsea, Mason Mount had a good game. Kai Havertz was brilliant when he came on for Lukaku. N'Golo Kante, as he usually is, played really well. So yeah, a relatively good evening for Chelsea. They haven't looked quite as good as they usually do recently. But yeah, they look good tonight. I mean, it is obviously against weaker position, but you know, a win's a win. Um, what else was I going to say? Oh yeah, quick word on the United game. I had that on BBC Sport. You know, where you get the teletext thing, and yeah, it's what United have been like under Solskjaer recently, isn't it? 3 second half goals after going 2-0 down at half time. No prizes for guessing who scored the winner. But yeah, it should make it Sunday's game interesting because obviously it seems like, well, the game's at Old Trafford, and the fans were up for it in the second half, so it should be a good game on Sunday. But yeah, it should, yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.